This is international superstar M-Dog20 Matt Cross, and you are watching another video by Hal.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous et bienvenue sur la chaîne YouTube de So Catch by Hal. Aujourd'hui, on a un invité exceptionnel, j'ai envie de dire. Regardez, c'est Matt Cross. Il est là et on est ensemble. Hi Matt, how are you doing?
Doing well, yourself?
Doing fine, thank you very much. Have you been enjoying Paris so far?
Yeah, today has been amazing. You guys took good care of me. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool. Okay, we start directly with Lucha UnderGround. I'm a huge fan of the show. Season 4 is coming soon. That's gonna be awesome. I want you to tell me everything about the show. First, how have you been recruits?
I got a phone call. But in pro wrestling, that happens quite frequently, and you never know what you're getting into or what you can believe. It's a crazy business, so you take everything with a grain of salt. That said, there were some big names involved, so I didn't know what to expect. When I showed up and everything that I had been told was happening, I was really impressed. And it's just been a great ride from day one. I mean, I take pride in I was the first match on the first episode of season 1, 2, and 3. So I've just been a mainstay of the company. I'm there for season 4, which we filmed in February and March. It starts soon, and I'm looking forward to everybody seeing it. If you've enjoyed it up to this point, you're going to continue to enjoy it because more of the same brand of insanity and next level wrestling is coming your way.
Did you have a tryout to go in?
Brother. Matt Cross doesn't try out. No. The way it was explained to me is they wanted to sort of bring AAA to the States, but they didn't want to just air episodes of AAA that had already been filmed because they were worried that wouldn't translate to an American audience, just pure Lucha Libre. So they wanted a handful of guys that know and respect that style and could do it, but could bridge the gap for American audiences. So the names that they were told that they were after were John Morrison and myself. And they got us both. So we were interested in the project. It's something that, we have worked for years at this style, and we do know and respect it, and well understanding a televised style of wrestling, so we could blend those together and kind of make something new and special, and that's represents Lucha UnderGround.
Yeah. What did you think about the Son of Havoc character at the first time?
I was given the character around lunchtime at noon, and we filmed the first episode at 4 p.m. So if you watch the first episode, I had found out the name, the character, and everything maybe 4 hours before that filming. So I didn't have much time to think at all. Wrestling under a mask is very difficult, but I liked that the outfit was just pretty much all black. So I thought it was kind of cool. And I knew at that point I was 14 years in wrestling and just itching for a chance. So I knew that this was my chance, and I was going to grab it. They could have called me Octopus Man and put me in a pink outfit, and I would have made it awesome. I was that determined. I was like, whatever they give me. And when I saw an all-black outfit, I'm like, oh, I can make this work. So it's been a lot of fun in that environment and in that temple with the people and how they react. It's a very unique environment. And I think the character and the people have kind of gone on this journey together, and Son of Havoc is rose to, I believe I'm the people's champion.
Yeah, at least that's good. Are you implicated in the creative part of your character?
Yeah, a lot more so than you're going to find other places. That's what I think is so good about the product is that they do take what we have to say in mind. So without giving away too many examples or talking too much inside baseball, there have been match finishes that were changed a day of based on the reaction of the crowd. Day before, I've gone to them with things that I didn't like, things that I did like. There's an open door policy essentially, so I feel absolutely comfortable going to the writer's room and even the showrunner, the absolute head guy. I'm comfortable to go in there, and I don't feel like I'm walking on eggshells or I'm risking my job, and to tell them what I like and don't like. So, and they don't necessarily change everything to your whim, of course, but they'll take your consideration, take what you have to say into consideration, and some things have changed. So I think that's why the show is coming across so well, because everyone there, camera guys, writers, producers, wrestlers, are all professional and are being trusted to do what they do best. So it's not micromanaged. It's not do it, but do it this way. Write it, but write it this way. We like it, but change it here. It's, you're a pro, do it. And it's so funny that that is a new concept because it shouldn't be. But I think this is the first time, perhaps, this was put into practice, and look what's happening, like this innovative new product.
Yeah, and I went there, so I witnessed this, and yeah, I think like everybody kind of have creativity, liberty to do whatever like they know. That's the fact. That's the point. Talking about writers and storytelling, do you know storytelling a long time before the recording, or is it day to day?
We know what we have to know, so a little of both. We have a general idea where we're going and where the show's going, and we're free to ask that kind of thing. That said, I don't know like the 10-year plan or anything like that, and it's flexible as well. I mean, it's pro wrestling, right? So people are going to get hurt, things are going to change, this and that's going to happen. So there's always rewrites, there's always this, and as I just shared, there's been times where things changed day of or day before, just based on crowd reactions or what they thought. And that's what another thing, benefit of Lucha UnderGround. Whereas other shows might come up with a plan and then stick to it no matter what. I think Lucha UnderGround has that flexibility. So if the fans love it's just more in tune with the audience, which I think people appreciate.
Okay. You've been also part of the Wrestling X Society. That's really close to similar projects. According to you, what are like the main differences and why the Wrestling X Society failed, where Lucha UnderGround succeed?
So many questions wrapped into one. If you and I sat down and we had a night to make an innovative wrestling product that's never been done, that's very different, that features next level hybrid style cross-trained athletes, and we want to present it in a different way, we would probably come up with a concept that's similar to Wrestling Society X or Lucha UnderGround. Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to completely think outside the box. So it's not any group of 2, 3, 4 people locked in a room to come up with the most crazy different thing ever would come up with something similar to these things. So it's not shocking that they both came to be and they both were so innovative. I have no idea why. I don't think Wrestling Society X failed. It was something with MTV. Okay. I had read that in 1 week's time, if they had 100 employees, 60 of them were fired in 1 week. So essentially, the director of programming, everyone was just new. So a new guy came in, probably went to a coffee place like this, was like, wrestling? What? No. As simple as that on one dinner, you know? So it's like, it just didn't fit in with the new guy's vision of the channel. So it's not that the show failed or wasn't delivering on any sort of ratings and that's what's funny because then people get into all these, they speculate and that's what wrestling fans do. So it's like, when you say that word failed, that's what, because like the WWE would love that to be the story because then, small guys, innovative guys, pushing the envelope. See, they tried, it failed. More big, slow, dumb crap. But I don't think that's the case. I think that there's been an audience for innovative cruiserweight style wrestling forever. I think at the end of WCW, we started to see it. It ruled. People loved it. The first hour of WCW was amazing. There's always been a market for that, but it's never been tapped into until Lucha UnderGround. So I think once it finally got a home where people can see it, now they're enjoying it.
Okay, I think that's Lucha UnderGround that allow you to be seeable by pretty much everyone worldwide. What were you doing before Lucha UnderGround? Like, what is your background? Where are you coming from?
Yeah, well, I did, to go all the way to the beginning, I did 11 years of competitive gymnastics. So I started that when I was 10. Toward the end of my gymnastics career, the last year or two, I was also wrestling. And then just, you name a company in the world, I've been there twice. So I'm the most indie dude that's ever existed ever. And I just wrestle every single weekend. Keep one of the busiest schedules in the business and somewhere all over the world. I've been to 25 countries now. I mean, we're sitting here in Paris. So wrestled last night for APC Catch and leave for England tomorrow and then Switzerland after that, then Scotland, then back to Germany and then the Netherlands. And so it's just go. So I just traveling the world doing my thing. And it's, I've run into everyone over the years. So 2007, I was in Austria wrestling Seth Rollins. The last time I was in France was 11 years ago. I was wrestling Neville. So I've just seen all these guys, over the years. We've all come up together. all over the world. So, and that's what I love about what I do, because I'm able to see the world and meet people and experience different things on my own time and my own schedule, and it's pretty incredible. So, like I shared with you earlier, I get home from this 6-week tour of Europe, and like the first thing I do is go see a ska band, the Specials, in San Francisco. So one of my favorite bands in my favorite city in the U.S., and then I wrestle the 3 days after that in Texas, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. So it's just nonstop, ultimate party dude lifestyle.
Cool. Okay. We're completely changing the subject, but what do you think about the fact that women can wrestle men? You know a lot about it because you have been like evenly tag team partner for weeks at Lucha UnderGround still. So I would like to know what you think about the subject.
I think it keeps with the times. I don't think anyone questions it when, like, superhero movies are all the rage now. So when you go to see the Avengers or Infinity War, no one's like, wait a minute, this girl just punched a dude. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's a form of, again, I think it keeps with the times. In comic books and movies and graphic novels, this stuff has existed for a long time. And in wrestling, it's existed a long time. It just never got the platform. Yeah. And if these females who are badass want to fight dudes and beat them up, you know, like, why not? Yeah. I remember one of my first intergender matches was against a young lady named Silesia Sparks, a Canadian girl, and she's awesome. And I remember being intimidated by the prospect because I was like, oh, how do we do this? It's so different. But that's part of the beauty of it, because it makes you rethink your view of wrestling. And then when I got down to it, I'm like, she is jacked. So I'm like, she could beat up half the dudes in wrestling straight up legit. So why is this weird? You know, like, I've wrestled men way smaller than her and probably not as physically active. So I was like, what is strange about this? Again, I think it's more modern. I think Dana White was on record with UFC saying that there would never be women fights. Yeah. People don't want to see it. It'll never happen. And now they have big draw of women fighting. So it's just, things change, things evolve, and we're seeing that now.
Okay. Another change of subject. I saw some pics of you without the beard. That's completely different. You look like 20 years old. Why did you let the beard grow?
I hate shaving a lot. I don't know. I think the first time I grew like a giant beard was 2007. So I don't have any tattoos, so I guess I've always been fascinated in a way with facial hair. So I would grow like a mustache, then I would grow a goatee, then I would grow just big sideburns, and it was always my way of expressing myself or whatever. And I like that you can change your look so radically, and it's not permanent and whatever. So then one day I don't know, I don't like shaving. So I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore. And one of the most common questions I get asked just by people on the street is like, what do you do for a living that you could have that, you know? Are you a lumberjack, or what do you, and I'm like, I could do or say anything in my job. So why not?
Just go for it.
Yeah, I didn't want to waste time shaving. And then I think I honestly intended to just have a big mustache, but I didn't want to just grow a mustache, so I needed to grow a beard to then cut into a mustache. And then as it grew in, it sort of took this shape naturally that I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to have this. You know, like, this is like nature telling me to do it. So I was like, who am I to overwrite that? So once it came in so nice, or what I hope is nice, then I was like,
yes, it is.
I was like, yeah, I think just go with it. I mean, it's been like 6 years or something now, so I forget what I look like, so it's scary. But yeah, who knows? I didn't really have a plan to grow it, so, and then I didn't want any merch of it or pictures with it, because I'm like, as soon as I get those, I'll shave. I don't want to be commercially tied to it. But then eventually I realized, like, okay, it's been years. I'm not going to shave, so now I have a beard.
Cool. And on Instagram, you're using the hashtag beard porn.
Yeah.
Why?
It's just funny. I saw it somewhere else, and it made me laugh, so I thought it was kind of cute and whatever. I didn't invent it, so someone else, it must be a thing. I've never really searched the hashtag, to be honest. But I figure if you're into beards, then
beard porn.
Mine is probably pornographic.
Okay, you're traveling a lot, and we were talking a little bit about this like previously, but what do you like the most into this lifestyle?
All of it, man. Like, it's in my blood, right? Like, I am a pirate, and Yeah, it's like I'm serious though. You know, like if I lived hundreds of years ago, whatever, I'd be on a ship looting another ship, like
Drinking rum.
well, I'm straight edge, so like I'd be drinking water in the front, but I'd be Blackbeard, you know, like it's legit. Like I can't be a pirate nowadays. Like, you know, if it was the Wild West, I'd be some kind of crazy outlaw. Like that's who I am in previous lives. So in this life, the closest I can get and remain legal is wrestling. So I'm gonna go with that. Like it just speaks to me, you know. Like I have the I don't know, the call of the wild or whatever. Like I have to go. Just have to go and I have to see it. The world is so big and so awesome. There's so much of it, and I want to see as much as I can. Like I can't imagine being in the same city or the same state or the same country for your whole life or just for any period of time. And it's like it's just fascinating to see everything and meet people and ultimately I see more similarities than differences, but just to see that firsthand and to know it and be like, because we're fed so much different stuff in the media and people focus on differences, I think. And it's like we talked about earlier, like the stereotype of like everyone in France is going to be wearing a beret. And it's like, I think honestly, most people in the U.S., if they think of Africa, for example, they think every person's living in like a hut somewhere and there aren't any buildings, or like everyone in Japan is like a sumo wrestler or something. There's all these like archaic things, but people don't leave, so they just kind of accept it. And it's like, here we are in a modern, cool cafe or whatever in France, but this could be Japan, this could be Russia, this could be anywhere, you know, like, and there's just people that want to. I see so much friendliness when I go other places, and it's I don't know, people that want to help, and it's enriching, you know. Like I fall on my head. I don't make nearly as much money as people think, I assume, and the part of that richness that I experience is these experiences. Like I've lived 20 people's lives, you know. Like I've been to 30 countries and wrestled in 25. Like who does that? I mean, many people don't go to any. So I've just. And the more people are like, oh, is there anywhere you haven't seen? The more you travel, the more you become aware of.
Yeah.
So now it's like I'm hearing about Marseille and all these different places, and I'm like, well, now I need to go there, you know? Like, and if I hadn't traveled to here, I wouldn't know about them to go there. So it's like, it just unlocks more doors, and the more you see, and it's like, so I just love. I mean, today is the perfect example. Like, we went to the Louvre, I saw the Mona Lisa because of underpants fighting. Like, that's insanity, dude. It's so awesome. Like, I'm doing something that speaks to me. When I started wrestling, it's so different than it is now, right? A guy could start today and be like, I want to go to WWE. And they could have a chance because they hire small guys and skinny guys and just whatever. Yeah. When I started, it was you have to be 9 foot tall and 400 pounds. And what was I even thinking? Like, I was a complete idiot. But it wasn't, I'm going to get a job in the WWE. It was, here's something that's inside of me that I have to get out. And that's why I've remained in it for 17 years, because it's not on some quest for gold or riches or fame, or it's because it's inside of here and I have to get it out. Nowadays, it's different, you know, right? Guys don't necessarily have to have that. But I'm living that dream. I wanted to do what I do on my own terms. I'm a one-man punk rock band, sleeping on couches, do whatever I have to do to make this life happen, sell my T-shirts, in person to people as I shake their hands, look them in the eye. A lady last night was at the same show that I did 11 years ago and shared the picture with me, and she was there last night. So it's amazing to see a familiar face, that like someone that, you know, was there and supports you for over a decade, and it's like, it's empowering, you know. So it's like I'm inspired. I hope I inspire other people. So it's this, I don't know, two-way street, hopefully, where we're just, I want to raise everyone's conscious and get them fired up about something, and just, yeah, life's too short. Let's have fun.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad you enjoy it. So, like traveling that much, which city did you like the most? You got to pick.
Paris, France. No, today was awesome. I think my favorite city in the world is Budapest in Hungary.
Yeah.
Every time I've gone, it's been unreal. The first time I went was with Seth Rollins in 2007. We had a week in Vienna, Austria, and it was very beautiful and very pretty. But two dudes in a pretty city, after a couple of days, we were like, I mean, we either have to go or we have to start making out. So we decided to go. So we went to the train station with our bags, and we're like, I don't know. I think I've heard of Budapest. Let's go. Didn't know what to expect, didn't know anything, and we just loved it. It's Eastern Europe, so it's a little cheaper. You can just get big pieces of chicken. It's beautiful. the last time I was there, they told me it's like the Paris of the East, which I hadn't heard before. Because I'm like, this place is so beautiful, and they're like, yeah, it's the Paris of the East or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I've gone to like nightclubs there and danced until 6 a.m, which I thought was insanity, and just I've had so much fun in Budapest. So it's like a really, and I think it's it flies under the radar a bit.
Yeah.
Like London, Paris, these places everyone knows about, and they know they are supposed to visit, and they know they're beautiful, and so I almost can't count those because it's like, well, everyone knows that. So I think Budapest is one that sort of is a little unsung and a little not unknown to a degree. So I try to sing its praises a little bit.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Matt. Thank you for everything. You've been a wonderful guest. I hope to see you soon back in France or wherever I can see you because you're awesome. You're a really nice dude. Thank you very much. Quant à nous, on se retrouve très bientôt sur la chaîne YouTube de So Catch by Al. Merci à tous, merci à vous. D'ici là, portez-vous bien. Bisous à tous.